Hi, everyone.
Hey,
I'm Alicia,
and I'm Meredith.
and this is It's About the Pasta, of Vanderpump Rules podcast, season 10, episode 13. This was my most uncomfy one.
I loved the editing though.
Oh, it was so
Great
good.
storytelling, I do have to say.
I was cringing the whole time, although I did have some fucking laughs. There were some funny ass laughs up in there. Okay, so before we get into it, check us out on the A&M Podcast Network. We have this podcast. We have Summer's Fun of Summer House podcast and One Season Wonders. Please be sure to rate, review, subscribe. Meredith, we have one new review for 5 stars.
Yay!
Okay, it's from Flip a Dip 68.
Love that
Love
so
that.
much.
And it's titled Best VPR Podcast with two exclamation points. So Flip a Dip says, "Oh boy, the amount of time I've spent listening to this pod is unhinged. I I save their new episodes for long runs.
Oh,
Oh, and always have their older season episodes when I'm working. Love Alicia and Meredith.
oh my
Are you good
God.
for runs? I don't run, so I wouldn't know what's like good for a
Listen, I
run.
tried to be a runner and then it led me to knee surgery. So I
Yeah,
don't recommend it for
I
everyone.
cannot believe that someone is like, I can't wait to go on this run and listen to this
And
podcast.
like, do you run the whole time? Like sometimes our podcast could get up to 2 hours.
It doesn't motivate her. Are we motivating?
Wow.
Because like we don't motivate ourselves to do
No, but I'm
anything.
glad we can do it for someone
I'm
else.
so happy we're with you getting fit. This will affect us. Our physical activity 0%, but like we wish you the best.
I love that.
Anyway, that might have been my favorite. To be described as unhinged. I've
That
never
is
known anything
honestly
better.
the greatest compliment I've ever received.
Same.
I've been
Um,
really actually going for unhinged lately. I'm not
Same.
joking.
I keep saying feral to
My
try and just
my friends at the Bachelorette that when we were both in Austin
yeah.
kept saying like this is feral, and I'm like I love that.
I love it. It's unhinged. Am I right?
Yes.
Also, follow us on Instagram at Vanderpasta and join our Patreon, patreon.com/Vanderpasta. Let me tell you what you can get. For $1 a month, you get access to all of our fun pre-shows. If you're a Taylor Swift fan, you got to get it just for this one pre-show. It's all we talked about. Anyway,
again, next time we record, I'm pretty sure I'll
Meredith
be
would have seen
reviewing
it.
Taylor Swift.
Yeah. I need you to write down all the extra songs she does. Anyway, this is not a Taylor Swift podcast, although it could be. Anyway, also you get access to any episodes we record early. This one was on the Patreon before it was live. For $2 a month, you get access to everything I just mentioned. Plus, when we go back and we watch old seasons to prevent from giving out spoilers, we do an after show where we'll talk about Bravo News. And that's where all the spoilers will be. So $2 a month, you get access to that. Also, we'll say your name on the podcast. So thank you to Chris, Danae, Darby, Dee, Dustin, Gabriella, Aisha, Jackie, Jamie, Casey, Katie, Kelsey, Chrissy, Sarah, Cameron, Tierney, Tiffany, Tonette. Oh, I got caught up. Hang on. Tracy, Amy, April, Emily, Gina, Jennifer, H, Jennifer T, Kirsten. Oh my God, I'm bad. Ruby, Sarah, Taylor, and Tiffany. I should get fired, but thank you all so much. We appreciate you sticking with us, even though I should be fired all the time. Okay, and then for $5 a month, you get access to everything I just mentioned. Plus, when we do live shows, I will post in the Patreon and you get to give us your thoughts, questions, opinions, concerns. And for the second time this week, I was late.
That's right. That's
but
right.
I posted first thing this morning when I woke up and I thought about it and I went, oh my God, it's Thursday. Given I had a mental health day yesterday, so I didn't do anything.
But I love that you totally relaxed. That's all that matters.
I relaxed so much. I fell asleep at 8:30 and woke up at 5:30 this morning. So
love that.
Lots of sleep. So I fell asleep before the episode even aired.
A worthy miss this time. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, also we'll pick a patron of the episode. So this week's patron of the episode is Darby because Darby just joined.
Welcome.
Welcome, Darby. Start giving us your
welcome
thoughts.
to this unhinged podcast.
Give us all your thoughts. Darby, I want them.
Please and thank you.
I'm unhinged right now. I'm so sorry. I'll like try and bring it back. Okay, I think that's it. Hip hip hooray. Let's get into the episode.
Let's do it.
So previously on Vanderpump Rules, we got back from Mexico where Schwartz made out with Raquel. Schwartz and Katie got into it because Katie doesn't fuck with him anymore. Ariana's grandma died and it's been a lot on her. Sandoval and Raquel were spotted at the Abbey together. There's talks about Sandoval and Ariana having an open relationship, and Sandoval denies having anything physical happen between him and Raquel.
All right.
Liar!
Well,
you know that Khloe Kardashian?
Yes.
Liar! That's all I think about. Okay, so
I feel like, you know, when there's that thing on TikTok where it's like, what two clips give off the same energy? That, Khloe Kardashian doing that, and Ariana screaming at Sandoval.
yeah, I don't know, your friendship's fake or whatever she says. So we're in the car, we're off glamping for Raquel's birthday. In the car, it's Raquel, Schwartz, Sandoval, and Ariana. And Lisa calls them and is like, hey, enjoy yourself, but I don't really glamp. And Sandoval's like, you can come share a bed with me and Ariana. And that was weird.
Ariana's face literally was like, what?
Absolutely not. Also, do you camp / glam?
This wasn't glamping to me. Once they get there, this was more camping just in a yurt. Glamping to me is like a cabin.
I think this is glamping because they got all their meals and stuff like cooked for them.
I guess it just
listen. I'm embracing that I sound like Sheena because I am Sheena. I don't fucking camp.
I'll camp. I'll camp. It's like I have gone on like float trips are big in Missouri. So you'll like float down a river and then you'll camp. Like totally in for that. I just need to know that I'm not showering for like 48 to basically 48 hours. Like it's just a commitment.
I won't do that. Absolutely not. If there's not air conditioning, running water, and a toilet, I'm out.
But my max is like 2 nights. Like I'm done.
2 nights? No. Absolutely
you just are so drunk that you don't even notice.
That's even worse. I want to lay in bed. No, I hate it here. Anyway, okay, yeah. So we're at glamping. We meet Nate and Ricky, the ranch owners, who I think like stay on the property to like feed them and shit.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then Sheena and Brock are here. Like I said, Sheena's all about air conditioning, but like in nature. So like
she literally was like, I feel like I should be wearing boots, not these tennis shoes.
Yeah, honestly, I would do the same thing. I also hate bugs and anything that breathes besides me. So like
I get that. I get
hate
that.
nature. But okay, this is what Raquel wanted to do for her birthday. So we're here.
This doesn't give off Raquel to me though. Like I don't see her as the camping girl.
Does she really like Animal Crossing? Because Brock made that joke, and
I wonder if
obsessed with
like
Animal
in the
Crossing.
pandemic, a lot of people got the Nintendo Switch and got Animal Crossing and were like obsessed with it. So maybe
do you think Raquel just loves Animal Crossing? That she's like
yes.
she's glamp with animals?
That she was like, let's do real life Animal Crossing, and then they probably didn't realize what actually goes into camping because they live in California, in LA.
Well, Sheena's even like, I don't want to get dirty. And again, I felt this. I also don't want to.
Okay, they also do one night. They're there for like 12
I could do
hours.
this for one night. My meals are given to me.
Yes,
we have a place that's not on the ground to sleep. And I don't think there are gonna be like too many creepy crawlers.
Well, like everyone I know who goes camping, you bring like air mattresses.
It's not enough because the creepy crawlies can get on the air mattress really easy. I don't.
You're
do
not
bugs.
just outside. You're in a tent.
You don't think spiders get into tents? Absolutely not. There's no. I'm telling you right now, when I tell you I'm high maintenance, it's because I'm not going to do shit like this.
I think this is so funny.
So there's gonna be like a girls' tent and a boys' tent, which I think's dumb, but whatever. So
well,
Sandoval,
I mean, you have to, because if not, then Schwartz and Raquel will be together. I thought it through this through.
I did,
and I was like, oh,
but I was like, so Schwartz has to pee, and Sandoval tells him to go to the outhouse with the moon, but that's actually false. The moon is for women and the sun is for men. Want to know how I learned this? Because in Guatemala, my mom and I stared at a bathroom door with the sun and then another one with a moon. And we went, which one do we go into? And my mom said, I think it's the sun because women are all happy and bright. And then my grandpa overheard and goes, you're both idiots. It's La Luna and El Sol. So La is feminine. Okay. So it's the moon.
With an outhouse, though, there's usually just one and there's a moon. There's just a crescent. Yeah.
Oh, I thought
there's
there
only
like
one.
2.
No. It's just a hole in the ground.
Oh, worse. No. Oh my God. I never want to camp. So they meet animals and they smash like pumpkins. I'm Ariana. I can't smash this
That
pumpkin.
was so funny when she threw it and it just ding ding ding.
But Brock's really supportive. He like gets it and like runs it back to her and she
He's
tries
like,
again.
try again.
Okay, so then we go to Lala's new office in LA. All right, this is kind of gay. This is a lot. I'm like,
this is where it really pops off.
Okay, so James is here. James loves the office. Katie and Christina Kelly are gonna help Lala shoot like cozy rope later. Anyway, let's talk about beach day. That didn't go as planned. And Lala's like, don't support a drink in the face, but also is fucking funny.
I
also,
love that.
I do too. Also, Sandoval sucks. And then we find out Raquel slept at Sandoval's the night of beach night. Because this is how we find out. So Katie's at Villa Rosa working on sandwiches while Ariana was home for her grandma's funeral.
Mm-hmm.
Then Ken, who got his line literally probably fed to him from a producer because it was so unhinged.
He just waddles in.
He waddles in, does not even acknowledge.
Also,
Katie's in
really
the room.
quick, this is an epic line on TikTok now. Like the audio of all these people are doing it, and I love it.
I love it. I wrote it down exactly what he said. But my other favorite is he doesn't like acknowledge that Katie's there. Like it's just him and Lisa.
He's staring at Lisa, and Lisa's like, staring at Katie.
Yeah, he does not look away at all. So he walks out, he goes, I can't believe that Sandoval had Raquel over while Ariana's away in the jacuzzi as well, and she stayed the night. I can't believe that.
And Katie's literally like eating a sandwich, like, what?
Her whole jaw drops. Lisa's like looking back and forth, like, I know, Ken, I wasn't gonna say anything. And Ken's like, goodbye, I'm going to feed the dogs.
Katie's just like, excuse, did I what?
Now, do you think a producer wrote this down and was like,
no, I think Lisa came home and told him, like, guess what happened to me? Guess what happened to me at work? I need you to say something when Katie comes.
As an executive producer,
yes,
Ken Todd did fantastic.
They're like, this is gonna be golden.
Ken, my favorite was Ken's like, okay, goodbye, and again doesn't acknowledge Katie's existence.
No.
So Lisa had told Ken because Lisa knows because at Sir, I mean, like back up.
I love Lala narrating this whole thing. By the way, she did an excellent job.
I'm not gonna do this justice.
No,
Don't come.
That's okay.
So, the day after beach day, Lisa was having a tasting for the new menu at Sir, which was just Charlie, Guillermo, and Natalie, and then apparently Raquel.
I was confused why Raquel needed to be there.
Where's Peter? Why? You're not gonna have a tasting without Peter.
But thank God they had to have Raquel there because this is how we learned that.
Yeah, our top fucking Sir server, right? So she shows up an hour and a half late. And Raquel's like, I am so sorry I'm late. I literally overslept because I like went back to the Tom's place and we got in the jacuzzi with me and Schwartz and Sandoval, and then I just stayed there. Nothing happened though. Like I know it looks bad, but I like slept on the couch and everything.
And Lisa's like, no, that's inappropriate. No matter what, if anything happened, you shouldn't do that.
I know it looks bad. It's like totally
but fine. Like nothing happened.
It's fine. Nothing happened. Oh my God. So then Lisa calls Tom Sandoval and Sandoval's with Schwartz and she's like, what the fuck is happening? And Sandoval laughs and he's like, we all hung out, and then she dipped out and left early, which is important, the wording here, because dipped out apparently means 20,000 things to this man.
Oh my God.
He said
constantly changing.
Dipped out and left early. And Lisa's like, so she didn't spend the night. And Sandoval goes, I said she dipped out. And Lisa's like, the hell does that mean?
Yeah.
I asked you a straight up question. So then we go back to Villa Rosa, where Lisa's telling Katie all this. And Katie says dipped out means that she left. And Lisa's like, well, I know she spent the night because she looked like shit at Sir and she told me. So then we go back to the call with Sandoval. And Lisa's like, did she spend the night at your house or not? And Sandoval's like, look. And Lisa's like, no bullshit. Yes or no? And Sandoval's like, yes, but like, dude, people crash in my house all the time. Like, dude, people were there, dude. And she's like, listen up. A, not a dude. B, Raquel's not people. Your wife's away and Raquel's a beautiful single girl.
Yeah, it's weird.
Like, it's weird. It's inappropriate. And Sandoval's like, I'm just over the Schwartz and Raquel thing. And Lisa's like, what does that have to do with anything? Like, that was so last week. Now there's this. Like, don't do it. And he's like, dude, calm down. And she's like, I'm done. She didn't say that. I said, I'm done with him calling her dude.
That
like,
was
"I'm not a
excellent
dude."
rundown. That because that like those scenes were so much was going on.
Okay, so what we can interpret from all this
Is this is a big thing for me. They never said a story.
they never said a story together.
Yeah.
B, we know for fact on both sides they went back to the jacuzzi, the three of them.
Yes.
And Schwartz definitely slept over, but also so did Raquel.
Yes.
We don't know where.
Well, let's get into the next part, the
claim
conversation between Sandoval and James.
Yeah, okay, so we go back to Lala and James is like, listen, I also have a series of events to tell you, but not as many. It's just one, a series of events. So James and Sandoval went to a members only smoking weed lounge.
I can't.
Sorry. That was so funny.
The weirdest thing ever.
So Sandoval told James that Raquel was in the jacuzzi, and then Raquel dipped out. And then Schwartz and Raquel slept over, and James is like, you just said she left. And he's like, no, she dipped out and went to bed. And he's like, James is like, oh, okay. And then Sandoval quote says, she literally went into my room, or I'm sorry, like not my room, my guest room or whatever. So she's saying the couch and he's saying the room / guest room.
But
so
he trips up and says his room.
And then it's like, my guest room. Sorry, whatever. So, 2, it shouldn't be a question. Something as simple as where did she sleep should not be that different.
Agreed. And like, it's
if you say the time, right? If it's like, I don't know, I like dipped out around 12 to 1, right? Like, fine, we don't know what time it is, but you know where you slept. That's like a fact.
Yes.
So like that doesn't add up. Your wife's away. Schwartz slept
and you
somewhere.
slip up and say my room.
My room.
What's annoying is like Sandoval keeps telling this quote unquote first version of the story. And then I feel like he thinks he's smart enough to just get away with whatever he says and people believe him. And then there's one thing that like people always question. He'll say something that kind of is weird. So then they'll question him on it. So then he backtracks on his whole story and tells a brand new story.
Yeah. I thought he would have listened. I'm not trying to give him any credit, but I thought like a master manipulator would have at least been able to like look at this dumb bitch and be like, yo, here's the story.
I said the same thing to my sister today whenever I talked to her about this episode. I was like, I am terrible that I really love a good little white lie. I've had a moment
even
where
I know the story. I could do a story.
I could do it. And this is not hard. Because let's be honest, there's no way Raquel and Sandoval did not hook up here now that we know Sandoval.
Schwartz was probably in the guest bedroom.
Agreed. But how do you not look at this girl or Raquel and say, all right, here's the story?
Yeah, when she literally, like, you wake up, you go, she's like, I'm late to
I've done better stories for less.
Same. I always have a story.
I always have a story, whether I am in trouble or not.
Even if it's literally just me hanging out and I need to come up with an excuse as well, I can't hang out tonight. Yes. And then I will stick with that story. I'll be like, my mom called and something happened. Like I have once
lied to a friend that I was going to go home because I didn't really want to hang out with her anymore. And then I went to hang out with our group of friends because she just wasn't that fun. And I was drunk and I wanted to have a lot of fun. And I literally the next morning after this day called every person who was there. There were like 4 or 5 of us and we came up with a tight lock story because I didn't want to hurt her feelings. Like, it's not hard.
I mean, it's not hard. What you're basically saying is it's not hard.
No,
I will not condone what you've done.
You just don't talk about it first off.
No, just shut up. Just the first thing about a story
is you never bring it up.
Don't give too many details.
Yep.
Don't be like, I slept on the couch. It was 12:35.
Raquel is the one who gave up a lot of this by immediately talking about it when she got to work. All she had to say is, I overslept. Why were you doing? I was hungover from, where were they? Drinking at beach day yesterday.
Beach day. I was hungover from beach day. Period. That was it.
Yep.
That was it. Anyway, so then Lala's basically like, Sandoval's a fucking mess because then we go to back over Labor Day. Lala's at a barbecue. Ariana's home dealing with the death of her grandmother. This is all from Sheena's vlog, which I watched.
No.
So Lala says,
this is the day Ariana's grandmother actually died.
Yeah. So then in a separate clip, Lala's talking to Lisa, Katie, and Kristina Kelly and says that the day Ariana's grandma died, Sandoval came to the party in Newport. Ariana called him furious. He said he would come home, but he literally was there for another 2 hours and he was with Raquel all day. So Lala then back with James clocks that Sandoval's a piece of shit so hard and something's happening. And she point blank says like Sandoval has a thing for Raquel. And if Raquel has too much to drink, you fill in the rest.
Yeah.
And the last time Sandoval was talking about a woman, the way he's talking about Raquel was when he was talking about Ariana to the group while he was with Kristen. And we flashed to Sandoval. He didn't really like give Ariana any like compliments in the shit they showed.
No.
But we basically saw how unhappy he was with Kristen, how he hated her. And then the golden nugget scene. And so
it's uncanny how similar these situations are. Ariana wasn't a main player on the show, so we don't have all the footage that we do now of like Raquel and Sandoval.
Yeah, and there wasn't as much to judge, like I've previously said, on Ariana versus Kristen, who like we knew did shitty things.
Yes.
So it's like different. Also, okay, so Tom and Ariana, though, they don't like to focus on their relationship. I get that. I'm not into the drama either on me. Keep it away. So James is like, maybe this distance thing they have like works for them. And Lala straight up says something's not right. She's sniffing it. She knows.
I'm glad like they are putting these pieces together.
I'm glad too, and I think Lala genuinely cares for Ariana, so it's good. I would hate it if there was someone who didn't love Ariana sniffing.
Well, I think she also is just infuriated by cheaters, scammers, liars, and so it's like she doesn't want this to happen to Ariana, but she definitely doesn't want Sandoval to get away with something like this.
Yeah, absolutely not.
And I think I've been very concerned about now knowing Sandoval and seeing how these episodes are going, like how the hell this was a shock.
Kristen said that we can get into Watch What Happens Live at the end too, because I want to hit on a few things. But Kristen said on Watch What Happens Live, no one was shocked that he was cheating. Everyone was shocked that it was Raquel.
Okay, good. That makes me feel better.
Because I think Andy asked like on a percent, like how shocked were you about the cheating and then about the Raquel? And Kristen said literally 0% on him cheating. But the fact that it was
just
Raquel.
Stop saying anything, because you can see like Ariana throughout this episode, Sheena in past episode are so adamant it's not with Raquel.
Yeah.
That you just probably start shutting
And that's the thing we've always said, right? If the person in the situation is not that mad, you can't be that mad.
Yeah. Especially that vocally mad. Like, I feel like this is going to be a theme where it's like, it's Lala and James talking about this on the side. Like Katie's going to be talking about this on the side.
And they said they didn't have, Lala said like they didn't have proof. They couldn't say adamantly like this is happening. So then when you have the person in the situation that's like, it's not happening, what are you to do? Sit here and be like, yes, it is. And I only see you 10% of the time you're with this person.
That's
like,
true.
You know, it's like a bad argument. So then we go back to glamping. Raquel forgot her makeup bag, so she's gonna look like a gremlin, I guess. Anyway,
terrible.
So they sit down. Raquel's the only person in her 20s still. She loves being the youngest.
I never really realized the age gaps here, and I'm cool with being friends with a multitude of different ages, but it is kind of weird. Like they're all similar ages, and she's so much younger.
I think when they were befriending Raquel, they were all in similar stages though. Like I've learned it's less about the age and more about the stage is what I like to say. So like a lot of my friends who had children kind of young or are married kind of young, they're friends with people who are older and married couples or like have kids. Whereas I'm like out with 25-year-olds now.
I love being friends with 25-year-olds.
I'm unhinged.
Unhinged. They give me a fun little life again.
Yeah, and then I have to go home for the next 7 weeks and like repair the damage. Yeah. So Tom is looking at Raquel the whole time. I'm gonna say it here, and you can just infer every other moment he looks at Raquel. He's giving me the total creep eyes.
I agree. It's so weird.
Okay, so Raquel does like a cheers to being surrounded by good friends and good vibes. She says these are her true core people, her forever friends,
Which
the ones
really,
looking out for her and believing in her.
before we break down the actual word she says, remember last season when she couldn't ever give a toast? Like, this was a good toast outside of the words used. But like,
yeah,
the delivery, like, you're not an inadequate person. You can give a toast.
she was just
I feel like she
so
played up this little
stupid.
meek thing the past few years.
That was her whole thing. James literally had to stand behind her and feed her lines.
Yeah, like I'm so confused who she is the past few seasons compared to this person.
I don't think we've ever seen the true. I don't think we ever will see the true Rachel.
Agreed.
Like
But yeah,
we don't know who this person is. And then the fact that she's like, these are my forever friends, but I'm sleeping with one of their boyfriends.
I've
Right?
decided what she does in the actual episodes, the word she uses doesn't bother me as much as her interviews, because I can call what has happened, maybe the two incidents, mistakes. You know, like she's spiraling out of control. Maybe I can weirdly make excuses for her, but her words in her interview, which are like 2 months later, are so much worse in my book. Because
It's
she
all
says
bad.
basically the same thing in her interview,
Yeah,
where
they're
she's like,
believing in her.
yeah,
So weird.
I
So then
hate it.
we gotta move on because I can't. I'm so enraged. I have like no other words
I
for
just
it.
I want to punch her in the face. Like, I wish I was in New York and saw Sheena and Raquel
I
getting it
said it.
after it.
I've said, listen, I've thought long and hard. Like, what if I weirdly got on Watch What Happens Live with Raquel? Andy would probably ask me, like, how are you feeling right now? And I'd say something along the lines of, like, I'm gonna do what Sheena couldn't.
And I would literally start the legal fund for you.
I'd be like, someone better bail me out ASAP, Andy.
Yes.
Get those Bravo lawyers because I'm gonna make some. I've never
This
hit
is
a
a
human.
joke for legal reasons.
She's so tall I couldn't even reach her face. Anyway, so Sheena asks Ariana how being back home was. Ariana said it was sad because she usually goes home to see her grandma and now she like misses her grandma. She starts crying. She says she wishes she could still talk to her grandma and Brock's really sweet and he's like, you still can. She's
Uh,
here. Bring Brock
why
back.
why am I Team Brock?
I know. This season's been so weird.
How is he the best guy on this show?
James is number one, but Brock's
No, but he's
number
unhinged.
two.
Like, Brock is the like nice guy on the show.
The reliable number one guy.
Yeah.
So it's been a hard year for Ariana between Charlotte and her grandma. She says she's barely hanging on, but then she's like, anything happened while I was out of town?
Oh.
And Raquel's like, well, since you were just crying, like I was an hour and a half late to a food tasting at Sir and I look like a bag of shit. And Sandoval's like, yeah, because after beach day, the three of us went into the jacuzzi and then Raquel stayed the night and slept on the couch. And Ariana, I think just to like be like, it's not weird. She's like, we do that stuff all the time.
Yes. And then she was like, you slept on the couch. Why didn't you sleep in the guest
Sleep in the
room?
guest bedroom. And then Brock, listen, Brock is giving these side characters between Allie, Brock, and Ken have given me all I need.
Incredible.
Brock's like, listen up. I asked you if she slept over, and you two boys said no. And we cut to
Isn't
basketball.
that a red flag? Like, how is this not a red flag to people?
That's a red flag. Shout out Brock for calling out their shit.
Yeah.
Because the boys were playing basketball with Peter, but Peter didn't say anything. Anyway, Brock or Schwartz is like, oh, I slept over. We had a cute sleepover. And Brock's like, did Raquel sleep over? And they're like,
no.
Schwartz and I had a sleepover.
Just
and
us.
Then Sandoval says with all the rumors, he thought it'd be better to say that she didn't sleep over. But it was so stupid. They should have just told the truth. He was gonna tell Ariana. Dumb.
It's the way they laugh this off. I'm like, no.
This is a red flag. If it my philosophy always is if it means nothing, you'll tell me.
Yes. Why are you lying?
I would do that, right? If I'm dating a dude and I'm like, I'm gonna go out to dinner with a different dude who's just my friend, I'm gonna let you know that it's happening.
And not just like
it did happen.
A white lie about like, oh, watching a show or like it about people you're spending time with. That are lies that you don't need to tell.
If she's not gonna get mad, you would have told her. If it's not a big deal, you would have told her.
Yes.
The fact that you're sitting here like, I should have told her. You should have.
It's not that big of a deal.
It means something. So, yeah, shout out to Brock. So then we go to Give Them Lala photo shoot. Katie, Kristina, Kelly, and Lala get their bathrobes on. Lala's so proud of her company. It's what she relies on to support her daughter. And I want to normalize being proud of yourself. We
Hell
don't
yeah.
do that enough. And I really loved when Lala was like, I'm proud of me and my company.
And I love her being like, my girl wants to go to college. I'm fun. Like, here's
Yeah.
how I'm funding it. And like,
Done.
don't be embarrassed about how you make money, no matter how that is. Like, you got to support your family. You got to support yourself, even if it's just you. Be proud of all your hard work, no matter what shape or form.
Hell yeah, this is bitches supporting bitches. That's what they keep saying. So Lala's proud of all her friends right now. And then the girls sit down and Kristina and Kelly's like, hey, what did the Don and Satchel think?
I loved that question.
The Don and Satchel thing about beach night. And Katie goes, Satchel was traumatized. No, not sweet, poor Satchel.
I love how she was like, he was so shocked at how many people were so mean to me. And I'm like, that would be very jarring.
That would be horrible. You'd be
Can
like,
you imagine you
dating?
meet her friends the second time and all these people are A, just screaming about, but a lot of them at Katie.
I would literally be like, A, who am I dating? And B, I never want to be here again. We know they don't follow each other on Instagram. So Satchel was probably like
traumatized and need to get away from this shit.
Satchel had to go.
Good for him.
So Kristina Kelly is like, I know all those people then don't wake up with any regret. And then Sandoval was telling Katie to take accountability. And then he dropped his fortune cookie bars. And Sandoval thinks Katie's spreading this rumor about him and Ariana having an open relationship. And Lala's like, it's not that crazy because I ate Ariana's cookie in the back of the car while Sandoval drove it.
Well, I mean, that is
wild.
True. Like,
it's wild. Yeah.
There are arguments for why it is realistic.
Yeah. I think if there are no feelings, if you want to do this in your monogamous relationship, fine. But if there are going to be feelings, you shouldn't. Like, I think Tom and Tom could hook up and Ariana would be like, whatever.
Yeah, I agree.
Because they're not going to date, probably. But yeah, does Ariana even care? They were like, no, probably not, but she doesn't want people talking about it. And so Lala says, Raquel, there's something about Raquel and Sandoval that feels wrong. Boys and girls can't be friends, which I disagree. Although I do think that once alcohol gets going, sometimes you can like almost flirt with the line a little bit, but you're like, nah.
I think it depends on the type of relationship you have with them. And I think that there are easily boundaries and lines that can be crossed.
Yeah.
And you got to be really careful about that.
I agree.
But I think it is a lot trickier for like straight guys and straight girls to be friends.
I agree.
Than two straight guys.
As someone who has a lot of guy friends, there have been moments where my guy friend will like, we're drunk and then he looks at me and I'll be like, you're not going to kiss me right now. But we always set those boundaries of like, it's not happening. But it can be tricky, but it's possible. Anyway, not with these two, not with fucking Raquel. Anyway, so Kristina Kelly's like, hey, I'm doing an event at Tom Tom for my company. Strong Heart. I have it written later. Heart Spring. That's it. And Katie's mom's gonna come because she's in town to help with sandwich stuff. And they're like,
which I
love. And they're like, what a creative group of friends. So now we're back glamping. Ariana and Sheena have a little talk. They miss each other. I really love this friendship. It feels really authentic.
And you know what? Laying on like a bed with your bestie, just chatting is
like, I miss you. That's my favorite.
The best.
I love and I miss you.
I know.
Okay, so Ariana's like, I want to know about beach day. And so Sheena tells her about Schwartz and James fighting. And then Sheena tells her about the bar and Sandoval confronting Katie about the open relationship rumor because Allie told Sheena that Katie insinuated that Ariana and Sandoval have an open relationship, which if we all watch the footage,
that's not what happened.
Katie does say like they have no rules, but then James is the one that says
yes.
Relationship.
Yes.
So Ariana's just like, we don't have that type of relationship. And then Katie had texted Ariana at beach day. And I wrote down the text and it took a while because they kept cutting the text off, but I got the whole thing.
Okay, good.
So Ariana says, hope beach day's fun. And then Katie texted Ariana and said, update, It was not fun. LOL. Also, apologies for the garbage that's going around. I absolutely am not spreading rumors about you and Tom. I don't know why some people desperately want to believe the worst in me constantly, but I don't know how it's come to this. None of this makes sense to me. So, Ariana wants to believe Katie, but she believes Katie did say it because Ariana gets it, right? Katie hates Raquel, but Raquel is one of Ariana's friends, and Ariana says Raquel's been a delight since she met her.
Which I wish Ariana would take Katie's side that she's not the one spreading this open relationship rumor, because I feel like that has nothing to do with her hatred of Raquel. Because Tom cheating on you with Raquel is part of Katie's hatred for Raquel.
No, I agree. I feel like Ariana was more saying like what she says later to Katie, I think made where I was coming from the whole time with this, where it's like your hatred of Raquel is dragging Ariana into it.
Yeah.
Like Katie could sit there, right, and say something like, well, Raquel would totally hit on Sandoval and do that and like hook up with him, which in turn hurts Ariana. Like we don't know how we got there, but I see Ariana thinking like, you're talking shit about Raquel doing all these things, which in turn ruins my relationship that I believe in.
Yeah, that makes sense. Okay.
So like Ariana's like, I want to believe the best in Katie, but I feel like something was said that hurts me.
That makes sense. I took it as like Katie would totally say that my relationship is an open relationship. And I was like, I wish you would have her side on like understanding her story. Like,
I think it was just
I feel like the hatred of Sheena is then doing the opposite with Katie and Ariana's like friendship.
What do you mean? Like
Sheena's sitting here being like, Katie definitely said that you guys have an open relationship. And it's like, well, Sheena doesn't actually know. She wasn't a part of that conversation.
Yeah, Sheena wasn't a part of it. I really did take it as Ariana was more like something was said that hurts me.
Conversations
that like
hurts
me
settled.
in turn. Yeah, like indirectly you're hurting me.
Yeah. That makes sense.
Then we do glamping dinner. Raquel immediately spills all the homemade fucking ranch. It's like not even funny. I was infuriated. I don't even like ranch. Like I hate ranch, and I'd be like, "Fuck you, bitch!"
Because these people work so hard for it. I'm like,
homemade ranch,
Jesus.
And she didn't. She wasn't even like, "Oh my god, no, sorry." She just like watched it, and I was like, "Is there a thought? Do you like think to do anything?" So then Raquel also hurts herself while eating corn. She bites her lip. So
she's a fucking mess in every aspect.
I don't know what 28 is bringing, but it doesn't look good. So then Schwartz says he does. So they start talking about vampires because Raquel bit her cheek and like blood and shit. And then Schwartz is just like, hey, I don't want to kill the vibe, but Raquel's a type. So Brock and Tom beware because she loves men that are taken. And I don't know where he likes, if he knows about Sandoval and Raquel, he is so shady.
I think he does because
he just says
unless editing got really messed up or like somehow there was a conversation before that like segued into this.
What is happening?
But think about Schwartz on the like red carpet thingy for the premiere of this season. Like he was being so weird and couldn't stop talking in like innuendos about an open relationship or Sandoval with someone or Ariana with someone. Like it was so coded and weird and just awkward. Like that's how this is.
He says he found out a month after, but it's past Labor Day at this point.
It's Raquel's birthday is September 12th.
And we think they hooked up the first time for boys' night / girls' trip, which had to have been at least a month ago, right?
I would say probably 3 weeks ago because I think Sheena's wedding was like the 26th of August.
Okay, so Schwartz might know.
Schwartz knows, in my opinion. At least that the boys' night hookup happened.
Is Sandoval not like shut up? Like
and then I'm sorry, but can we all infer that something happened at Sandoval and Ariana's house when Raquel spent the night, and so did Schwartz? Like Schwartz just has to know something happened.
Is Sandoval just the worst manipulator? Like he can't come up with a story. He tells this guy, this doofus, like,
well, what? Of course you're going to tell your best friend, but you're going to be like, keep it hush hush. They think they are the smartest people, or not they, sorry, Schwartz does not. Sandoval thinks he's the smartest person in the world. and that he's just going to get away with this. And he does for 7 months.
He does. He gets away with it for a while. Okay, so then Ariana asked Raquel her peach and her pit of 27.
Oh my God.
And she says both have been breaking up with James because like it hurt, but it made her grow a lot and stuff. So then she's like, I know I met all these friends through James, but like I'm really happy that we created our own friendships and I appreciate them. And then Tom goes into this whole thing about how she's so fucking confident and badass and we're so proud of her.
Your face right now when you're doing that.
That's
my
just
like hand is in the air, like, yeah.
Yeah, well, that's what he does. He's like, we're so fucking proud of you. Yeah, but like he's so pumped for no goddamn reason.
I would be Katie, and I'd be so annoyed with these, like, all these people at this table if I were in this pet group.
I know me. I'm either Ariana cool girl that's getting cheated on, or I'm Sheena who's fucking clueless.
Oh, because I'm Katie.
I ride or die hard for friends. If you tell me not, like, I mean, I'll be suspicious.
Which is like, so funny because in the celebrity world, you will take anything and run with it.
Here's the thing: is like, if I'm suspicious, Meredith specifically, let's use you. If you're dating someone and I'm suspicious of him, I'm going to come to you about it.
Yeah.
Which Sheena has done in the past with Ariana. And if you're like, nothing's happening and I love you so much, if I hear people shit talking, I'm going to be like, you shut the hell up. Keep my friend's name out of your mouth. Like, I'm going to ride hard.
Interesting. I'd be like, what's your evidence and why?
Well,
and let's,
like, but they
let's
don't have
see if we
evidence,
can squash
right?
it.
They don't have evidence.
I know, but like, what's your reasoning? So like this story about them spending the night, that's
but then
sketchy.
If your
like,
friend is like, nothing's happening, what are you going to do?
I know, but Lala, when she was talking to James, was like, see, there's 3 weird things, like da-da-da. And I'm like, yep, that would be enough for me.
I'm loyal to a fault. Do you know how many times my friends break up with their boyfriends? I not only trash them, I unfollow them, I hate them.
Let's hope
get back together.
My future partners don't listen to this episode because then they can just cheat wildly open in front of you. I guess not open in front of you, but they can like have.
No, the thing is though, I'm also Sheena where I'm gonna punch you in the face if I find out I rode for you this hard.
I need a Katie and a Lala who are gonna dig into it.
Oh, I'm a loyal ass friend. If you tell me, or I'm cool girl. Because I also don't like my business out and about. So, and I'm Ariana too. I ride hard for the people I trust.
Yeah.
So like if someone's like Meredith shady, I'm gonna be like, I don't believe that. Meredith wouldn't do that. Like she's loyal. I will give you my full loyalty until you do one goddamn thing. Then I'm out.
Then you're done. Yeah,
I'm done for life.
I'm done. If you F me over, I'm done.
For life.
Yeah.
But Sheena has brought up shit to Ariana in the past, and that never ended up good for her.
That's
true. I think now she's like, I'm just riding. My girl says nah, I'm gonna say nah. And for all we know, off camera, Sheena could be like, Are you good?
That's true. But maybe Ariana was like, stop talking about it on camera.
Right. Yeah. So these people are talking about it. I'm gonna be Sheena where I'm like, I'm coming for you with my long ass nails that can't make a fist. Anyway, so cheers to 28. So then we talk about how Kristina Kelly is having an event tomorrow at Tom Tom. She invited Sheena, Brock, and Summer, which is very fun. We do not see Summer.
Damn, Summer gets the invite?
Yeah, Ariana doesn't have her phone, so she doesn't know if she's invited, but Raquel hasn't been invited. And Schwartz goes, hey, Raquel, you be my date. Haha, just kidding. Then don't say it. Then this is what? But then Raquel says she'll
so bad.
Friend date.
It's so weird.
Is worse. So then we go to the fire. Raquel says she's going to get her shit together at 28 because she's feeling pressure from her parents. She aged out of pageants.
I can't with this fucking pageant conversation again. Like twice in one season.
We're going to keep going. She wanted to be Miss California and be a role model, but now she doesn't have pageants. She doesn't have to worry about her reputation anymore.
Which, girly, that does not mean... Okay, actually, I was talking to my sister about this as well. Like, okay, I understand a version of pageants where you have to be this like pristine, perfect thing, like for children and things. Like there's all these like young impressionable people also in pageants. So like I understand an aspect of like, okay, I can like let my guard down, like I can drink, I can have fun, you know, like, but the way she says this is like, oh, my reputation means nothing. And I would argue that actually now that you're on a reality TV show, your reputation is actually way more important than you doing stupid pageants.
Yeah, your reputation actually is all we have to base off of to decide if we like you as like
this ain't
viewers.
the time to drop your like, oh, I need to have a good reputation.
Which is like, for example, Kristen Doty had a horrible reputation, and that's why we did not root for her.
Yes,
but she rebuilt it.
Which took Raquel, a lot of time.
Literally, these reputations on a reality show, like Bravo is like the epicenter for this shit.
I don't know how she can possibly come back next season.
Also, girl, no one pays attention to my reputation, and it's still important to me. You should take some fucking pride in who you are as a person.
Yes.
Right? Like, what do they say? Who you really are is like who you are when people aren't looking. What's that saying?
Yes. Yeah.
What matters is who you are when people aren't looking.
Yeah.
Literally
when the cameras are down, yeah, that actually is more important who you are. And you're doing some shady ass shit in the background.
Who you are behind the cameras.
Gross.
So Ariana tells Raquel that she is a role model, and then Raquel cries in Ariana's arms.
I hate this.
She's scared of her plan, whatever. So then Ariana and Sandoval got Raquel a gift. It's a vintage Versace pair of 1990 sunglasses.
I mean, that's an incredible gift.
That's literally the nicest thing anyone's ever bought anyone on the show.
Yes.
So nice. So Schwartz didn't get her anything, and she's like, that's okay, you can give me a kiss. And Schwartz is like, I'm so happy that we can flirt lighthearted because I've been vilified for flirting. And Raquel's like, fuck people who vilify you. And Schwartz is like, actually, maybe don't come tomorrow because Katie and I are at war. And like, now that I think about it, you maybe shouldn't come with me,
which is a smart decision. And Raquel's like,
2 hours too late.
Well,
also, you just sat there and was like, people vilify me, but like, also, I don't want to fight anymore. Like,
well, no, that is a good decision to be like, wait, actually, don't come with me. That is him actually getting some logic in his brain.
100% for once. So then Sheena's like, I'm going to just ask if Raquel can go.
Which is fine. Like, nobody has a problem with her coming. It's her coming with Schwartz.
Yeah, like, that's fine. So then Raquel's like, yeah, like, I respect other people. It's not like I don't have respect. And I was like,
you don't.
Oh.
You don't.
So then Sandoval then goes off about how you have to live your fucking life and not care what other people think. And all these people can just fuck off.
And I hope he does that same statement at the reunion. Do whatever you want to do. Everybody else can fuck off.
Yeah, same. Quote it next time. So then Kristina Kelly texted Sheena back and said Raquel can come. And Sandoval's so fucking pumped he does a karate kick in the air.
It's so odd to me.
I know.
I just cannot with that man.
So then Raquel, like, it was so obvious. It was so
yes.
Even though she's not saying it, I think Ariana's a little suspicious because
I think so too.
But also, if she doesn't want her shit on camera, she's not gonna admit it. She's gonna.
But
sit
she
there
can't
and be like,
hide her. She can't hide her initial reactions. Yeah,
she's always like, wait. And I think also
she can tell something's up, but she doesn't have proof.
She doesn't have proof. She's a loyal person, so she's gonna believe these people are also loyal to her. And also, she might just be like, something else weird is happening, right? And she might try and figure out something different. That, like,
and how hard would it be to just like go with like maybe your gut instinct that your best friend and your boyfriend are fucking behind your back?
Yeah, that's so cliche. Why would that even happen?
Oh, while a camera or a show is filming, like, how brazen?
Like, they can't be that stupid, can they? Yes. So Raquel cries about how much she loves her birthday, and then she dances around with galaxy lights and stuff. And then the next morning we leave glamping. Great. So then we go to Katie's apartment. Terry's here. Terry's excited to see Sandwich Shop. We go hiking with Lala and her mom. And a foreign concept to me is talking this in depth in my sex life to my parents. But good for her talking to the Don still. Then we go to James and Allie's apartment to talk about beach day. I love how everyone's like, what do we think of beach day?
Oh
And
my
Allie's
God.
basically like didn't like seeing James fighting the whole time. And James was like, sorry, I didn't mean to embarrass you. And Allie's like, I wasn't embarrassed. You embarrassed yourself.
Oh, I love her. I
It was
love
so good
her.
because then Allie's like, I can tell there's a lot of anger with you. And James is like, no, there isn't, but there is. And James
She doesn't
says,
get insecure over his stuff. She's truly like that. I'm not dealing with this.
unbothered
Yeah.
queen. Actually, they were on you know that friend Zach that brought her to James's show where they met, that like did a whole TikTok about it.
Is that the guy who interviewed them?
Yeah, did you see it on
You
TikTok?
sent me it, I think.
Oh my god, it was so funny. It was like he's talking to Allie about all this astrology shit, and
Yes.
he's like, so like you're this, James is that, like, are you guys compatible? And she keeps looking at James, and James is like, yeah, my moon's in the 12th house, and she's like the 10th house, and he's like, right, and like I'm a blood sign, and she's like a water sign, and he's like, right. He does not. He is me. He is me
It
100%.
is so funny.
And she's literally like, yeah, we have these like weird traits that like come together at different times of the moon and the cycle. And he's like, on Tuesdays, we like get along better. And she's like, no. So everyone go watch it. Anyway, so James goes on, says he isn't stressed about Raquel. He's stressed about losing his friends. Like Schwartz made out with Raquel, so like that friendship's done. And Sandoval and Schwartz are a package deal, so that's done. And he's just upset that he's losing his friends. And I get it. Like
That's
they all just
hard.
went glamping for like those were his friends.
That would bother me. That I would be pissed like James, and it would.
I would too.
And it comes off as jealous of Raquel, but it's like, no,
You're
my
mad
whole
at
world
Raquel. You're
like changing.
you're like, I brought you in, and when we break up, I expected you to leave.
Yeah,
And you're
yes.
still here.
Well,
Why?
that's what social climbers do. They just latch on.
Yeah, I would be pissed like James too. Okay, and he probably threw a drink at Schwartz because like you're not my friend anymore. Fuck you.
Yeah.
Okay, so then we go to Tom Tom for Kristina Kelly's Heart Spring event. Everyone showing up. Schwartz walks in. He takes Terry, Katie, and Lala's drink orders, and it's awkward. God. I kind of felt bad because I know he said like Terry was like a second mom to him, you know, because his family doesn't fly on airplanes. But like,
that's another reason not to blow up your life.
Yeah, you fucking did it. Yeah.
Like your actions have consequences. If this is something you didn't want to lose, then don't do the action.
I agree.
Think through it.
So Katie's giving Schwartz the cold shoulder. In Schwartz's world, they would have just joked about it and been on laughs, and it would have been good. Whatever.
If Katie had never said anything, I would be like, okay, she's being a little harsh on him. But the fact that there were like 4 straight episodes where she was upset about this potentially even happening, and they all said it'll never happen, I'm like, yeah, give him the cold shoulder for the rest of his life.
Forever.
He deserves nothing.
Agreed. So Lala asked Katie, like, will Katie ever get to a place where it'll be all good and Schwartz can just be at a distance? And Katie says, yeah, when he apologizes, which he hasn't yet. He hasn't said, I'm sorry for breaking that one rule you gave me.
Yep. And I don't want her to like point it out to him. I like that she hasn't said anything for him to get back into her good graces. He should try to make amends and figure it out himself.
Yeah. Fuck yeah. So Ariana, Raquel, and Sandoval all show up together, and Lala's like, this is fucking weird. And Katie and Terry do not get up to hug Raquel. She does like a mini like
Raquel like goes to Terry. Yeah. And it's like, hi, how are you? And it's like, girly, you're not on that level with someone's mom that you hate yourself.
At the time you met this person's mother, her daughter was in tears that you might do something shitty, and then you did that shitty thing.
Yeah, you don't think her mom found out? I would avoid the mom at all costs if I did anything.
Mom's the first person I'm calling that this happened. Okay.
Well, yeah, but like Raquel, if I was in Raquel's position and I did that shitty thing, I would avoid the mom.
I know. I'd be like rude. I wouldn't even say hi. Yeah, I'd be like, I'm done. Okay, so Lala says she used to look at Raquel as such a sweet human being, and now she feels like Raquel is stealing her soul when she's in the same room as her. And then says Raquel is a very stupid demon. And that sent me.
I'm not going to say the D and the S words, but now we got stupid and demon.
Stupid demon, two different. Well, dumb and stupid, but you know, it's all the same.
I really like demon being added.
I love the demon part. I was cracking up. Then we see Matt the bartender. Does he work at Tom Tom? That's
I
such a
missed
fun
him.
twist.
Do you think he was supposed to be on this show and they just kind of left him hanging in the wings?
I think maybe once like people don't want to film with Sandoval and Raquel, maybe they'll bring in Matt the bartender a little
Oh,
bit.
poor Matt the bartender has to hitch his wagon to Sandoval. Damn.
Yeah. He might be the middleman. So then Katie and Ariana go talk. I appreciated Ariana being like, we need to talk. And I didn't love Katie being like, oh, it's fine. But Ariana's like, just listen. I think Ariana kept a really calm head.
Me
the
too.
whole time. So she was like, I want to talk about like the Allie and James thing. And Katie's like, nothing was sent to James. And then Katie tells Ariana what happened. Allie told them about the Abbey. Katie thought it was weird, but they figured how the dynamic must have happened. Like they kept talking like how it could have happened and not been weird. So Ariana said she heard Katie said Ariana and Tom don't have any rules as long as it doesn't embarrass Ariana, which Katie did say they don't have
the first
rules.
part. Yeah.
But Katie says she never said anything about rules or embarrassment. And Ariana's like, listen, don't get mad. Like Ariana's like, I'm so excited to have this business. I just don't want you of all people saying like bad things towards me.
Yeah.
And Ariana says she loves and trusts Raquel and she loves and trusts her boyfriend. And Raquel's been a good friend so far. And Katie says she hopes Raquel has been a good friend because this, like what Katie's saying is like a character flaw in Raquel, right?
Yeah, like how can you be shitty to people you're not super close with and not also be shitty to people you're close with?
Yes, like if someone's character speaks for themselves. And Ariana says, you know, she understands how Katie feels, but hopes that the beef with Raquel doesn't drag down Ariana and her relationship, which I think is her main problem. Like, hate Raquel all you want, but like leave me the fuck out of it.
Which, like, this sucks so much that Katie was right.
It does, because I think Ariana handled this conversation like really fucking well.
I agree, but these words are haunting.
It hurts. It hurts a lot. I really appreciate them all being adults though, and like later and not being like, I told you so, and just like being supportive.
It's
like,
it's really hard to be like, I was right. This is a shitty moment to be right, and I hate that I'm right. But there are so many sound bites between these last two episodes where it's like,
it hurts a lot. So Katie apologizes and says she didn't feel like it was shit talking, but doesn't believe the open relationship thing. And Ariana says she trusts Katie and they're just going to grow closer together with this business, and they hug.
Thank God they have this business.
Very adult conversation, which we're missing on all fronts of Bravo. Every time I watch the show, I'm like, they're not adults. This was a great adult combo. So then James and Raquel talk. Speaking of not adult combos,
this was so weird, but I loved it so much.
So just to paint a picture, there's an empty seat at this table Raquel's sitting at, and James is like, hey, can I sit here? She was like, sure. And he goes, love the bag. And she goes, I still have it. And he literally is like, oh, did I buy that for you? And she's like, yeah, it was a birthday present.
Which, I'm gonna be honest, whether they were together or not in this moment, like if they were still together, I don't think he would remember he ever bought that.
I don't either. James is not real, because then Raquel starts like talking about her feelings and he looks in his phone and fixes his hair.
My God.
It was so funny. This man is my favorite person in the world. Okay, so Raquel says at the beach, she felt hurt that James regrets Rachella because Raquel doesn't believe you should have any regrets in life.
Oh, honey, I bet you do now. I bet you have some regrets.
No, I bet you she's gonna go with the I can't live with regrets.
Ugh.
It's not how you should live. She's gonna do this whole thing with James because it infuriated me, because James is like, sure, like no regrets, great, but you have to like learn from your past mistakes and grow up.
Yeah.
And she's like, I feel like you just say things to hurt me. And James is like, it's not that deep. Like, it's not all about you. So James basically is like, look, I loved you, but it wasn't perfect. And Raquel's like, yeah, but I don't regret that relationship. But obviously you have regrets. And James is like, in his interview, he's like, Raquel was just the wrong girl for me. And of course I fucking regret it. Like, it was an epic proposal. It was wasted on this person that wasn't the right person.
I get that, where you're like, I put all this time and energy into some shit that wasn't worth it. I kind
I
of
don't
regret
think he
it.
regrets dating Raquel, right? I think he regrets like he did a lot of
Getting
shit.
that far into the
Yeah.
relationship,
Yeah,
or
it was rough. Yeah. So Raquel's basically like, I've grown a lot. And James is like, yeah, you're a completely different person. Like, not good or bad. I just don't really know you.
Good.
Raquel goes, cool. And James is like, proud of you though. Like, you're happy, I guess. You keep doing what you're doing. And she's like, that's what life's all about. You just do stuff and you don't regret anything and you
Oh
just
my
hope for the
God.
best. And James just looks at her and goes, cool. And then that's the whole conversation.
So weird.
She infuriates me.
I feel like he's talking to like a Barbie doll in that moment.
You can't just sit around and be like, I have literally zero regrets.
I have a lot of regrets in my life.
I don't learn from my past mistakes. I just like keep moving. Like I could literally kill someone and I'm just gonna keep going.
My goal is to live life with no regrets in a forward movement where like I'm gonna do things to propel me and be like, you know what? Let's do it because it's gonna be a great story. So forward wise, I try to live with no regrets. But I look back and I'm like, wow, I do regret some things.
I think as long as your actions don't purposely hurt anyone, you're good, right? If I'm like, I'm gonna go, no regrets, I'm gonna eat 2 slices of pizza, that's not gonna harm really anyone.
Yeah.
But I can't be no regrets. I'm gonna hook up with my best friend's boyfriend. That's gonna be a regret because you're gonna hurt someone you really cared about or tried to care about.
A lot of dumb things you do when you're younger that like I understand James being like, yeah, I kind of like there's some regrets I have with that. Like I've moved on.
He did the coolest proposal and he fucking meant nothing. Regret that shit.
I regret that.
Yeah, hell yeah. So then Ariana and Lala go get goodie bags. Lala loves free shit. So do I.
Same.
I'll literally anything free. So Ariana thanks Lala for texting her because the summer's been really rough and Lala just wanted to make sure that Ariana was okay. And Ariana, it's very sad to hear her talk about this because she has in the past and it's just broken my heart when her depression gets this bad. But Ariana was like, how have I not just like disappeared by now and like left the world?
This you can just see how bad she is. And it's September. Like she definitely goes a lot deeper. We do know that because Sandoval has talked about it. And I'm sure Ariana will talk about it. But like it breaks my heart that like she's at this point in September and she is gonna go through like so much grieving to come.
Yeah, and I mean she does have depression. We've seen it on the show. She's talked about it openly and it can get really bad. And I mean, I feel that too. My depression doesn't get like this far in a hole, but like it happens and like it's not easy. And then when your partner is just like a shitty ass person and probably not giving you the support you need. And instead, as we see in the previews, is like, should we have sex? And you're like, I'm depressed. I don't like want to have sex with you.
It breaks my heart. I'm like so thankful that we have someone on this show who's like open to talking about it because I think moments like this help the stigma. And then I love whenever they like walked up and talked, like Ariana thanks Lala for reaching out to her, like having your friends. Help. Yeah. And like your friends, it's hard because like friends deserve something. Any type of relationship deserves something in return. But when you are in such a hole, like you can't give back. So friends who are always going to be there for you, even if they can't provide you with something. Like Lala, I was probably not expecting anything in return, like even a text back. But like,
I think Lala also gets depressed from time to time. I think the difference is she has like a child relying on her, so she has to kind of like step up a little bit more, and B, we haven't really seen it on the show. It's always when cameras aren't rolling. So we've seen Ariana though on the show, so I think Lala like gets it, but also you know. So anyway, Lala says, you know, with the business and grief, it's a lot, and then Lala brings up the barbecue and says like
the Labor Day barbecue, right?
The Labor Day barbecue, and I love this because this scene was so accidental. Like it was wild. You could tell Lala was like not ready for this scene.
Yeah.
So Lala just says that,
but she also will never back down from a conversation.
No. Yeah. So Lala just says like, she knows Ariana was mad at Tom at the barbecue, and Ariana's like, yeah, because he couldn't get a ride because Jason left. And Lala, you could tell she again was not ready for this because she's like, yeah, he like should have went with Jason. And Ariana's like, well, he didn't know Jason was leaving. And Lala was like, wait, yeah, he was. Like, I was right there.
Yeah, like I was there with both of
Like,
them.
it was so accidental how we stumbled into this.
Yes.
So Ariana's like, listen, I'm not going to do this like back and forth shit. Like, Tom,
Which
get
I
over here.
love.
I love that. She's like, you can see in her eyes, she was like, I'm done with this shit.
Yes.
Like, just get over here. And so Ariana is like, so Tom, I heard like Jason was leaving and you stayed. Why'd you stay? And Sandoval's like, no, Jason said he was dipping out. And Ariana's like, yeah, so why didn't you? What is dipping out to? He needs to stop. Anyway.
I think he's trying to use vague words to confuse people.
I'm confused. Success. But
he thinks people are just not going to ask questions, but they will.
We do. So Sandoval says, yeah, Jason was dipping out. And Ariana's like, yeah, and you stayed. And Sandoval is like, yeah, I don't know. And Ariana's like, okay, so my grandma just died and you decided to stay when you had a ride home to me. Sandoval's like, oh, I figured you wanted to be alone. And Ariana's like, well, I asked you why you couldn't come home. And you said it was because you couldn't get a ride. So next time. And so Ariana then says in her interview, like when her dad died, they weren't even dating. And Sandoval like literally dropped his girlfriend to go hang out with Ariana.
Yeah.
And Sandoval was just saying like he should have went home, but he figured I don't know. And Ariana's like, I feel like and again in her interview, she's like, I feel like he's not feeling that I'm important anymore. Which again broke my heart because
it's annoying. Sandoval in this conversation, he does that thing where like you say some words but not real like sentences. Yeah, so it seems like you're talking and saying things, but you're not.
You're not like, well, like you giving an answer.
Yeah,
I don't know. He keeps ending with like I don't know.
Yeah,
and so Ariana's like, hey. So Lala wants to know why you didn't come home. And I was like, no, I'm not in a relationship with him. I didn't have to know.
Which very smart of her.
Smart. But then I think Ariana is so done. She's like, look, I was fine with everything happening, but like people keep bringing up my relationship. So like, we're all going to talk about it. And so Lala, looks at Ariana and says, it's okay to look at your partner and say like, I wanted you there with me that day.
Yeah.
Like it's okay to say that. And Sandoval then says he just couldn't get a car. And Lala, again, because she's not like combative or arguing, which is why I think this is super like authentic. She was like, Tom, I was there like with you and Jason. Like we
just walked through it all. You can't now try and go back to the original story.
I saw you like deny a ride. And Ariana's now like, Tom, you said you didn't know Jason was leaving because you were taking a shit. Yeah. And so Ariana is basically like, Sandoval's putting her in a position where she's looking dumb. Mm-hmm. He just wanted to stay at the barbecue longer. Lala's like, that's what I saw too. And again, Ariana's in her interview, like she's ride or die. And she's looking stupid with this man that she 100% supports, who doesn't 100% support her back.
This like is soul crushing knowing what we know now, but even if like without Sandoval knowledge, I still would have been like, he sucks. Like even if it's not guaranteed that he's cheating on you, he's treating you like dirt.
This is garbage to do.
A man who literally prances around on a stage for shits and gigs, and you support him with that bullshit. Can't even go home when your grandma dies.
That's bullshit. If my close acquaintance was like, someone just died that was really close to me and I have no one,
I'd start walking there if I couldn't find a ride. Where's the nearest bus?
The bus. And you couldn't call an Uber to Newport.
It's so sad.
Take an Uber to as far as they'll take you and then call another one and get in that one.
And you're a white male. Flag a car down on a highway.
You'll be fucking fine. So next time on Vanderpump, also, can I just say, I imagine that there's like one other sober person there, aka Lala. That's
true.
He might have driven, right? And he could have just been like, Lala, I will pay you so much money if you just take me, Ariana. Like, please.
He wouldn't even have to bring money if he literally looked at her and said, I missed my ride. I was an idiot. Like, but it's the if he wanted to, he would have.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So next time on Vanderpump Rules, we see there's something about her, and James loves the fucking sandwiches.
Yeah.
Sandoval's complaining about his relationship again. Sandoval cries to Ariana about wanting to do better as a couple and be intimate, and Ariana says she cannot have sex with someone who feels like a stranger. Raquel feels like in a relationship, you should want to have sex. And Ariana looks at her and is like, well, that's unrealistic with like work and life, that you have to spend time together. Yes. So then Raquel confronts Katie about Schwartz not being Katie's business, and Raquel feels more empathetic towards Schwartz, and Katie's done. She fucking loses her shit on Raquel. She loses her shit on Schwartz in the back of Sir.
I can't wait fucking be to be at the back of Sir.
They should literally be like, are you gonna fight? Go to the back. Like, hold this fight, go to the back.
We don't have anything like that at like Tom or even Schwartz and Sandy's. Like
Pump.
There's just something iconic about the back of Sir. Like if we go to LA, I want a picture at the back. I want the back of Sir.
I don't even need the front of Sir. I want to go the back of Sir.
Amen.
That's the only place I want to be. If I die young, will you spread my ashes in the back of Sir?
Yes.
Thank you so much. That's all.
What's young? Like when's the cutoff for this?
Before you.
I'm like 90 years old throwing them back there.
Yeah, Sir has been destroyed. You just find the actual location.
I show up at your funeral and I have to explain to your sister why I need your ashes.
We have to cremate her now.
And I pull up this episode 70 years later.
Yeah, it's gonna be a different restaurant by then, but like just do it.
Yes.
Okay. Okay, accepted and blocked.
I'm blocking Sandoval. He's a piece of shit. That's plain and simple.
I agree. I'm blocking Raquel because she's the most cringy person on my screen right now. Done. Let's get to accepted. There's so many to accept.
I'm accepting Lala.
Okay,
of that story. Yeah. I mean, the editors too, giving them a nice little shout out. Probably one of the most epic moments in reality TV in my life. Like this moment will live rent free in my brain. The rewinding.
It was so good. It was just so good.
Everything. I just think Lala's like incredible. There was so much else in this episode, but I just have to highlight that moment.
I loved Lala. I loved her talking to Ariana too.
Yes.
Lala was one of my tops, so I'm glad
Lala,
you picked her.
Being a bad bitch that she is, supporting her daughter. Like I loved all of it.
Yeah, Lala had a really good episode. If you didn't pick her,
calling out Sandoval, I mean, check, all the way down the list.
Yeah, she was gonna be mine. I think I'm gonna accept Ariana because
she was my other one.
I enjoyed the way that she communicated with Katie this episode. I enjoy her confronting Sandoval about this bullshit, but I totally 100% understand wanting to be really loyal to the person you're dating and not believe the rumors, especially when there's no proof. So I get where she's coming from 100%. And she is nothing if not supportive of dumbass Raquel. And she deserves better. She deserves all the success of something about
you know what? She looked incredible at the White House Correspondents' Dinner.
So good. She is now like a household name.
And she said that the one thing she's grateful for about Sandoval is that it taught her that she can get through anything, and she wasn't sure that she could.
We got you, girl. The world's behind you.
The world is behind you. You need a kidney? Everybody's getting on the donor list.
We're here. Sandoval needs a kidney. We're gonna let him die in the alley.
Away.
Okay, we have some podcasts by the people. A little quick, Tonette asks, am I the only one who says hey with Meredith at the beginning of every episode?
That makes me so happy. I think Dustin has said he does it.
Dustin does
when
it
Summer
too.
House happens when they drive and listen.
Okay, Tracy says, ooh, I love that Sandoval got caught not one but 2 times lying this episode. Once when he tried to lie that Rachel didn't stay over, and the other when he lied about not having a ride home from the Labor Day barbecue. He's such a piece of shit. Also, he's trying to get Ariana to do the emotional labor of having to break up with him so that he can be the victim of everything. It's a classic man move. It's manipulative and pretty gross. Also, I couldn't unclench my jaw for at least an hour out of anger. Yeah, it was
feel that.
It was the worst.
If he thought people were mad at him when Sandoval broke, like, what did he think was going to happen the rest of the season?
Again, this man is not this stupid, right? He can't come up with a story. He can't hide his feelings. And you're telling me this man cannot see in the future of like, I'm going to get caught and this is going to be bad for me?
Like the minute I tell a lie, I think about getting caught. Every time I tell a
Same.
lie, I think about what I'm going to do when I get caught, because that's what good liars do. And this
Same.
is why I don't get caught.
He's a bad liar. I'm a really good liar.
I shouldn't be like supporting his like idea to have a good lie, but sir, if you're going to lie to me, put some effort into it.
If you're gonna do something like this, when cameras, that's the other thing, is we're not videotaped all the time, okay? Like we're not recorded, our lives aren't gonna play. So if we tell a lie, there's a 95% chance if we're a good liar, we're gonna get away with it.
Yes.
This man, you're literally being recorded.
Yes,
You're
like
in
you
the
have
public
a reunion
eye
where you're gonna have to talk about all this shit.
You're in the public eye constantly. You're gonna get caught. Like
it's because he got away with this playbook once with Kristen, so he thinks he's like the best.
I know. I talk about this all the time. It blows my mind when people are being literally recorded. They're like, I'm gonna get away with all this secretive shit. No, you're not.
No.
Okay, so Casey said,
Sheena there to record everything else during the off season.
Yeah, Sheena's got her vlog, y'all. You can get away with anything. Okay, Casey said, if I hear quote dipped out one more time, like he knows dipped out means leave, but he's using it as she dipped out and went to bed. All of the lies.
He's using it as I can insert any other verb later on.
He's like, I'm gonna use that Gen Z slang that's actually millennial slang, so no one knows what I'm saying.
I want to punch him in the face.
Like, what would we have thought if Sandoval didn't break? This would have been way too sketchy. But now it's just super cringy. Ariana defending her so much, crying face. Everyone saying she's such a role model and a good girl who is trustworthy, and Rachel knowing what she's doing. It's honestly so gross. It makes me question how someone can be so unfazed saying all this while having a full affair. No remorse. So evil. I agree.
She has no conscience.
Literally none. Like, what is happening up there? I will
nothing. Absolutely nothing.
Flies are just flying across in the open space.
That's too much, even.
A tumbleweed.
There it is.
Okay, Casey also says, and I know a while back y'all were surprised by her age, and it's because she's acting like she's 23, but this girl's a full adult pushing 30 who has been engaged. Yeah, she's like our age.
But she's like, I just
it hurts so bad to hear James and Lala hooked up at the beginning of her relationship, but yet she's slept with a man who's been with his girlfriend for almost a decade. There's no way this girl can come back from this. And hearing her talk about her true friends who will always support her, did she think they would support this? Make it make sense. It can't. I can't make it make sense because I don't
know. I really hope, but I am doubtful that we will get some answers from her.
I think
in her one-on-one reunion.
I think last episode I said, like, I do want Sandoval to like walk me through his fucking steps of like where I want Raquel to also like, what did you think at your birthday when you're hooking up with Sandoval? Did you really think like
I'm happy Andy will sit down with them one-on-one, but I'm not sure what we're gonna get.
I'm worried about the questions.
I'm worried about if Sandoval's gonna try to come up with another narrative, and then if
Raquel doesn't know the story though.
Thought together. That's why I'm hopeful that hopefully they got in between them before they even arrived at the reunion.
Kristen Doty showing up. You're not gonna get away from this.
Hell no.
Okay, Aisha said these episodes are hard to watch, to be honest. Ariana talking about her grandma made me tear up. Rachel's taste of her reality star life seemed to go to her head. The fact that she sat in Ariana's face for so long and felt nothing is truly scary. Even if Krusty was telling her lies, the fact that she saw Ariana defending her nonstop and didn't feel bad is truly insane. Agreed.
Yes.
When Rachel was talking about pageantry and how it was chosen for her, I was disgusted to learn that she didn't even have a true infant in helping kids with disabilities. Yeah, I zoned out on that. I was like, this bitch does not know what she couldn't. You cannot convince me her college degree is real.
Had to put like a thought together.
She's never had to. What do you want to do when you grow up?
She just chose randomly something and said it for the rest of her life.
She's not real. She's a robot. She's like a different Unreal than James.
She's a robot that does not have everything plugged in correctly.
I need to meet her grandma Buttons again because I don't know where this bitch came from. I have questions.
Oh my God.
So Aisha says it was all done to increase her chances of winning pageants. That story revealed why she doesn't know who she is and changes her personality to match whomever she's dating or befriending. How she's currently behaving is and talking is all Sandoval. Present day Rachel is not remorseful whatsoever. The use of mental health to avoid taking responsibility is truly gross as well. Yeah, that's bullshit. What did
well, I mean, even in the show right now, it's definitely Sandoval's influence. Like she's so like why are we getting vilified for a kiss? Like this isn't that big of a deal. And it's like
that's something Sandoval would totally fucking say.
Yeah,
that's why
that
he
is
karate chops all the time when she
Yes.
talks.
Yes.
I think Pete Davidson said it once on SNL where he was like having like mental health problems does not mean you can be a complete
Shitty person.
asshole.
No.
Yeah. He said it while referring to Kanye, who was just an awful person on SNL. But he said something like, I also have bipolar disorder and like I'm not a shitty ass person.
No.
So like you can't do it. Okay, Aisha says, I think Sheena and Ariana wanted to protect Rachel because they both have fallen victim to slut shaming in that group. They wanted to be the people who they wished they had during those times. It definitely causes them to ignore huge red flags, but also Ariana truly loved and trusted Tom. Who would think someone they loved would intentionally hurt them so deeply?
And after 9 years.
Yeah, this is like if your fucking parents or siblings did some shit to you, you'd be like, wait, what the fuck? This is like those people whose parents become murderers and they're like, I'm still gonna visit them in prison. Because you're like, I fucking trusted you.
Yeah. Yeah. Wow.
Okay, and then Tonette last comment says, this bitch. Quote unquote, these are like my true core people, my forever friends. I can't. She's probably walking around with Tom semen inside. Oh my God. I didn't read this in advance. She's probably walking around with Tom semen inside of her while doing this interview. Ew.
I have no words.
This is a first. This is an R-rated episode. Ew.
Yikes.
Disgusting. Well, thank you so much for that, Tonette.
Thank you so much.
You're on a timeout right now. No, I'm just kidding. That's hilarious. I mean, don't know what to do.
Insane and probably true.
I mean, maybe. Do you think? I don't know. I like can't even speculate anymore. I'm gonna sit here all day and be like, do you think that? I don't know. I need Kristen to show up.
I can't wait.
With her maniacal little hand.
I can't. 2 more episodes. 2 more episodes.
Yeah, the finale's the 17th, right?
Yep. I'm gonna watch it live with my sister, who is on this bandwagon so hardcore lately. She texts me and calls me about this show round the clock as if she has a podcast.
If she wants to do a feature. The problem is she doesn't know the past, if I'm correct.
She kind of does. She took a little break, like with the Raquel eras.
She didn't see the puppy party.
No. So but funny. She did send me recently a video of Raquel from season 9 ordering a burger or a cheeseburger, and it's the scene where she goes, and can you put cheese on that? And Dana is in the scene, and Dana's like, you just like you ordered a cheeseburger, you don't have to specify cheese.
Oh my God, there's not a fucking. I can't wait to go back and watch old seasons because I don't think we've gotten to a Raquel season yet.
No.
So, but somehow we'll have to do like no spoiler. It's gonna be so hard.
It's just gonna be so fun to outwardly be able to say how dumb she is from the beginning.
Literally, all of our after shows are gonna be like no thoughts, not a one. God. Not a single. Although that one reunion, we both were like, she came out and she said her piece, and like, oh, now
that's gonna be hard to defend her.
The problem is, I just hate Jax and Brittany.
I know,
or I did. I don't anymore because their recaps are actually kind of funny.
They're adults now. They grew up.
They got off the show. Brittany needed. All she said was rotten hail, and she needed to leave. Yeah. Good times. Okay, so do all the things, leave all the reviews, follow all the things. I'm not posting, I'll give you guys an inside scoop on the Vanderpump. I'm not posting any Summer House tweets because they're all really deep and I'm just trying to laugh a little bit. So be on the lookout for Vanderpump tweets. Good. I'm not going to get into debates on Summer House anymore because I I don't
It's
care
too
enough.
much.
I'm in Scandoval, please.
Where there's one side. I like this one side movie.
I do too. We're all united as Bravo fans. I love
Yes.
it. Okay, thanks so much for listening. Goodbye.
Bye.